Hello everybody, I am Fleexy, and welcome back to Abiathar, version 2.6.1. Today I'm going to be showing you in depth how to deal with the new project wizard, which can be found under File, New Project. Welcome to Abiathar, indeed. So, this is a very complicated tool. It's not complicated, it's just that it's very powerful, and it has several different modes, and sometimes people get a bit confused. So let's straighten all that out today. So, as you can see, there are 3 different ways you can get started. 4 if you count this, but it's not really all that different from this. So first, you can start from a template. And here are a whole bunch of games that Abiathar supports. By default, you can add your own if you're really good at stuff in defaults.aconf. And this option will let you run through the main new project wizard, the type that was introduced in version 2.0. The second option is pretty much to help people who are just coming over from the Omega-Matic. It's just prompts for the same resources as Tom does on startup, but it doesn't allow you access to all of Abiathar's features. Of course, you can always edit that later in Edit Project Settings. And this enter settings manually is of course advanced. This is just like starting from a template, except that you get a few extra screens. So let's say we want to load a completely new Keen 6 level set, and we don't wish to inspect advanced settings right now. What that does, if you check it, is it'll do the same thing as enter settings manually, but the settings will be pre-filled, so you can tinker with them if you want, but otherwise you can just hit next if you just want to make sure that they're okay. So let's hit next, and first you'll get the containing folder screen. I'm going to be referring to these tab-like thingies as screens. So for creating a completely new project, you'll want to either make a new folder or, select the existing folder where all your stuff is going to be. I'm just going to leave this as the default current directory since I'm not going to be keeping this mod project around, but you can always hit browse and put it wherever you need. So let's go next. Now, since in this example we'll just be starting from the original things, let us load level files from the original game. These other options, create a blank level set, will of course, create a blank level set. It'll have one single level. I think it's 40 by 40, but you can, of course, resize it later. Start from existing level files is exactly what you expect. It'll let you load existing files. But for now, let us load level files from the original game. On the level files screen, this is the names that you will save or open the map files. On the previous screen, since we're loading level files from the original game and they'll be saved on the first save of the dependency file, these files do not have to exist right now. If you had chosen to start from existing level files, these files do have to exist. They also will be created on the first save if you create a blank level set. So, now those are fine defaults, I think. Moving on, now for the graphic source. And let's see. We can go with the original game graphics loading from Abiathar's memory, and if we do this, it's going to skip the next screen. Let's see, if I just select EGA resources, that is, it will prompt for the EGA-graph, EGA-head, EGA-dict, whatever, on the next screen here. But if I was to select original game graphics, we will never load any files from disk for our graphics, and we'll move right on to tile info source. So, here we have 4 options. Obviously, I can count. Since we are doing a, original load game defaults, we're going to choose always load the original game tile info here. And this is different from create or load a separate tile info file in that if you select this, you will be able to create a tile info file from the original game, but also be able to modify it. This option, always load original game, is useful if you are just making a level pack and you know you're never going to modify tile info. You can of course always change these settings later in Edit Project Settings. Never use tile info, just disables Abiathar's tile info editing and viewing and intelligence capabilities. manage tile info is part of the map header. It does exactly what you expect. It's for netkeen, so that tile info is in the map header. So, yes, we wish to always load the original game tile info. Let's go next. Last slide. Finish. And here we are. This is the original Keen 6 levels, exactly as you expect. Since tile info was configured from the original game, you can press B to see the little overlay thing. Also see it in the tile palette. And of course, you can press B to toggle that. Neat. Okay, I'm going to press Control X to close this. Also works. File close. Control X. No, do not save. Now, we are going to load an existing mod. If we wanted to make a level pack of, say, Fleex, very excellent Keen 8 Dead in the Desert, which is a mod of Keen 6, I'll show you how to do that right now. So, start from a template, Keen 6, just like before. We will need to select the directory containing that file. I have it on my clipboard here. And of course, you can also browse. We are not loading from the original game. We are starting from existing level files. Now, GameMaps.ck6 does actually exist, but that is the original games that comes with Keen 8. It doesn't actually have to be included. In reality, what you want is, oops, that's not how I don't know how to type, editmaps.ck6 for Keen 8, because it was made with Keen Next, and he never bothered to rename it or remove the extra game maps file. Moving on. Yes, we wish to load EGA resources. The tile sheet bitmaps lets you load your graphics from, a mod Keen or Keen graph, tile bitmap, as the name suggests. EGA resources is what we want, because I don't wish to extract the graphics currently. This game does use compressed graphics, but you'll notice if I try to hit next here, I can't find egaddict.ck6. That is because it uses the game's default EGA dictionary, and so he didn't bother to include an external copy. So you have to check this little box here. That will, of course, disable the egaddict option. I know how to talk. Next. And Abiathar has smartly detected the presence of a tile info file that currently exists, so it wants to create or load that, and yep, that's exactly what we want to do, and it has also known the name. It's very smart program. On this screen, we didn't see this on the last run-through because we just always used the original. If you choose load from the pre-existing resource, it will of course look for this file on disk. If you choose create a blank tile info set, this file does not have to exist currently, and it will be created blank on the first save. If you include the original game's tile info, Abiathar will just dump the original game's tile info into this file on the first save, and once again, it doesn't have to exist. The only time in which this file has to exist right now is if we're loading from a pre-existing resource. And we are. So, next. Congratulations, we're amazing. Let's finish. Loading graphics. Here we are. Keen 8. Of course, the tile info is appropriately configured. Press B to verify that. And the links work just as you expect. And of course, everything is good. So you see, that's that. I'm going to Control X that closed. And now, let me show you how to do the basic resources one. So this is what you want to do if you have, if you already have game maps files, a game maps and a map head, and you have already extracted tile sheet bitmaps. Since this is like Tom emulation mode, basically, it doesn't support EGA resources, only tile sheet bitmaps. You kind of get a clue about that by the indentation of this and its disablement when you switch this, telling you that not all the stuff's going to work. Okay, game maps resource, as you can see in the top. I actually wish to go to my Keen 5. Let's see, let's go with our game maps file. I have already extracted the map head. And notice that it magically found the map head, so it didn't ask us for it. Now the background tileset resource. Abiathar will accept both mod Keen and Keen graph bitmaps, grouted or not grouted from Keen graph. Pretty neat if you ask me. In fact, let's see, the background tileset is unmasked, so we'll go with this. And now the foreground tileset. You can even have one ungrouted and the other grouted, and it'll still work fine. Let's do that. Finished. Congratulations. That was easy. And there you go, and it worked fine. Of course, if I press B, nothing will happen because we didn't have the opportunity to configure tile info. If you wish to configure more advanced stuff, go to project settings. Oh, yes, we will indeed save the project dependency file before opening the project wizard. Demo, sure. Of course, now notice that we've started level format. We have not seen this before. This is because this starts, the project settings that is, starts at the very beginning of the new project wizard in the advanced section. So we would have seen this slide had we chosen to either inspect advanced settings or enter all the settings manually. Keen 5 does indeed load from Keen Galaxy style, a Carmack. This checkbox is designed for Netkeen. It'll let you tinker with the level signatures. Next, yep, EGA layout is indeed correct. And of course you can load from a gifxingfo file if you need. That was originally intended for Biomenace before Abiathar got the templates for Biomenace. But it's still there in case you need to gifxingfo or anything else. Tile partitioning. This sets how many unmasked tiles you have and how many masked tiles. For example, if you're doing some crazy patching business and adding more unmasked tiles, you'll need to tinker with this. And of course, this sets how many infoplane icons you have for the purpose of removing them from the main foreground tile set. Okay, that's fine. And here is the containing folder, and this is where the normal part starts. Yes, we are indeed starting from existing level files. Yep, that's all good. Yep. Now, if we wanted to add our tile info, we would change this from never use tile info to, let's say we want to create or load a separate tile info file. And let's say, let's include the original game's tile info into a new new file. Let's see, demo.tli. Next, it'll reload. Now we have tile info. So amazing. So awesome. Oh, man. So that is that. That is Abiathar's new project wizard. Immensely versatile. And if that somehow doesn't do what you need, you can always create a dependency file manually by looking at either defaults.aconf or the structure of one of the existing dependency files. So, Control X to close. Let's make sure I didn't miss anything. Let me just quickly show you what this does. Enter settings manually. Does indeed give us this. So if you need to do something that uses map t-head, you would choose this option. I don't actually know if any games use that, but Abiathar supports it just in case. Back, of course, if you press back to go to the first slide, it will indeed reset your dependency file. So, yep, just a bit of confirmation on that. If we choose to start from a template and inspect advanced settings, notice that it has filled in the Keen Dreams Huffman style for us, since this is indeed the Keen Dreams template. This is the Keen Dreams EGA layout, and this is the Keen Dreams tile partitioning. I suppose I can do a quick rundown on the other special options. Let us, let's say, do Keen 5. So we wanted to make a Keen 5 level pack with the standard graphics and whatnot, but I wanted to create a blank level set rather than loading from the original game. Let me just show you what that actually does. Yep, those are fine. Let's go with the original game graphics, and always load the original game tile info, and let's go. Yep, that is indeed a blank level, so very blank. And you can, resize it if you'd like, do whatever you'd like, add the Keen 5 edge to it, and, do your thing. Now, let's quickly see how again with Keen 5, see how the bitmap-based graphics go. So yeah, this is fine. We want to load from tile sheet bitmaps. No, we do not wish for EGA graph and egg ahead. That's left over from the last time we ran the wizard. We actually want to do the unmasked and the masked. And sure, always load the original game tile info. Let's go. And there we have it. Loading from those bitmaps. So yes, that is that. I am Fleexy. Thank you for watching. Happy modding!